Great. Well, welcome everybody to the Royal Veterinary College and to the 2017 HorseTech Conference. And welcome not just everybody in the room, but everybody viewing us on the live stream as well. Let me create the context for what we're going to be talking about today. New disruptive technologies are set to change the horse world. We can embrace these technologies and mold the way that they're used. Or we can try and avoid them, or we can be overwhelmed by them. But I would guess that because you're here today, you're in that first group. So let's look at how we can collectively build these technologies into the Internet of Horses in a way that will benefit our horses and benefit us. Horse technologies have been around since somebody first put a bridle on a horse. Horse technologies that change the world include the metal bit, the stirrup, and the iron-on shoe. And I'm proud to be part of this tradition where the snaffle bit that I use today can be traced back to 2,000 years ago. Newer horse technologies may not have changed the world, but they made life much better for horses and their minders. I'm thinking of the gift of the Rambo rug that replaced the canvas New Zealand rug that didn't stay on, and when it fell off and got wet and muddy, it was so heavy you could barely lift it. You may remember those. And Tom McGuinness, its inventor, is going to be telling us later what excitement he has in store for us in the future. The technologies we're going to talk about today are the new and the cutting edge. Do you know who the 4 biggest traded companies are in the world today? You can probably guess. They're tech companies. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, they're at number 8. That's the tech world where there's a continuous need to innovate. This world moves so fast. Back in the day when I was doing software development first, doing an update was a really big deal. You planned it, you tested it, and then the big day came, you held your breath, would it go in, would it fall over? Now Google can update their software every day or every hour if they need to. And that agility is necessary in the tech world because everybody else is evolving fast, and good ideas that hit the market can be copied within a matter of days. I've spent my life with 2 parallel passions. You can guess what they are: horses and technology. And I'm really lucky because now I can combine those technologies as a horse technologist and help tech companies understand horse people and their needs and help equine companies integrate tech into their products and services. And this all started with the introduction of the iPhone. That was the smartphone, and it's 10 years ago. That's only 10 years. And in that 10 years, 75% of adults in the UK now have a smartphone. The smartphone has become the always-on interface with information. In the old days, if you wanted the latest news, you got a newspaper. If you wanted to check the symptoms of a horse, you got out veterinary notes for horse owners. If you wanted the results of a race, you turned the radio on. Now our smartphone, well, it's generally always there. The smartphone is also full of sensors. It can sense movement, it can sense heat, light, pressure, magnetic field. It's got a microphone, it's got 2 cameras in, and it can combine all of these sensors, including GPS and Wi-Fi, so it knows where it is, it knows what's happening around it. It can combine all of this to do some really smart stuff. Once we had the smartphone, we got smart everything else as people put sensors into their technologies. Some of them did smart things. I can't imagine what the smart hairbrush does, but there is a smart hairbrush. And this is collectively called the Internet of Things. Imagine if we put 1,000 sensors on our horse. It's collecting data 24/7. We had cameras on our horses in the stable, in the fields, traveling, training, racing. And we combined all of that data. We'd have a mountain of data every day. And the question is, could we turn that information into insights that are beneficial? Well, the answer is that with the coming of machine learning, that's starting to look possible. Machine learning is a form of artificial intelligence where the machine has learnt how to learn. So that instead of having to understand how you get from a question to an answer in excruciating detail and program a computer to do that, you can show the computer examples of the answer and it can work out how to get from the question to the answer. I could talk for a long time about machine learning. Like techies all over the world, I'm fascinated by the potential of this technology, but we're going to have a presentation from Philip Kahn later who's going to do a much better job. The other technology that is going to make big changes in the horse world is genomics. So that's linking the traits, the genes that a horse has with their traits. And Emmeline Hill is going to talk to us later about how she identified the speed gene and the benefits that we can get from genetic testing in our decision making, both in breeding but also in the way that we train our horses. These technologies are all disruptive, and if at some point we don't make you uncomfortable today, then we have not succeeded. There's no doubt that jobs in the equine world are going to change, and some are going to disappear, some are going to be augmented by this technology, and there are going to be new jobs created, including teaching machines about horses and riders. We hope you'll leave today inspired to try some of these technologies and to share your knowledge and excitement about them with other people, and that collectively we can build the Internet of Horses together. So we're about to kick off. I'm going to miss the bit about keeping to time. However, there is a very short coffee break, so I'm just warning you now, it's going to be a dash down to get the coffee and bring it back to us. We're going to just do the presentations one after the other. If you have questions, can you either tweet them to HorseTech with the hashtag HorseTech, or just write them down on a piece of paper and hand them to David here. So let's get started. We have a man who was doing horse technology before most of us were doing tech. If he wanted to build a solution, often he had to go out and create the tech from scratch. Very good welcome to Jeff Cedar.